There's V1. Rotating. Is this real life right now? Is flyby simulations really going on and uploading a video onto YouTube? Yes, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of a full flight on flyby simulations. I'm super excited to be back on
Pilot's
YouTube.
boarding starting.
Wow, okay, I don't know why I'm getting these messages from GSX Pro, but as you can see, Microsoft Flight Simulator over the last 2 months that I haven't sort of uploaded a video has evolved to the standard of major modern simulators like X-Plane 11 and P3D. As you can see, we are currently at Dublin International Airport here in Ireland, and we have some fantastic traffic in the background in the form of other Ryanair aircraft, as well as you can see, these pilots boarding now. We have GSX Pro now working for the simulator, which is very exciting. Adds a whole new level of immersion for the simulator, and I'm super excited to be able to check it out for the first time in this video with you lots. So also, of course, like the Pmdg 737-800, which was just released a couple days ago. I unfortunately did not get a preview.
Starting.
Okay, if GSX stops interrupting me, I'll be able to do my intro properly. But anyways, I was unfortunately not able to get a preview copy of this aircraft like some of the other YouTube colleagues I have, who are uploading videos more frequently, but that's because I've had, sort of priorities that are more stricter as compared to what I had to do on YouTube. YouTube was always something that I was doing to fuel my passion, but now that I have some time, now that I've found a remote internship for the next 8 months that I can, do, sitting at home, I should have more time to invest into YouTube. I've been getting all of those comments from you guys, especially even in my private inbox for flyby simulations. If you guys do want to reach me for any business inquiries, do feel free to check out my private inbox. It's linked down in the description section of the video. But I've been getting questions about, doing A320 aircraft dissected videos. There's only 3 uploaded on my channel so far, but I plan to do a whole lot more. And all of that stuff should be coming over the next couple weeks and months. So I'm super excited to be back. If you guys are excited to, leave a like on this video, as well as subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you guys get alerted to more content just like this.
Boarded.
All right, the crew has boarded. I think this is the perfect time to get into the cockpit and start configuring this beautiful aircraft. So with all that rambling done, flight details. Sorry, forgot about that completely. Today we're going to be taking this Ryanair 818 flight all the way from here in Echo India Delta Whiskey, Dublin International Airport, all the way up to Edinburgh in Scotland. So ICAO code for that is Echo Golf Papa Hotel. I'm pretty sure all of that is popping on the screen right now. I'm pretty sure I'm going to edit this video to be all spicy for you guys. So pretty excited about all of that. This for sure adds a whole new level of immersion, as you guys can see. Aer Lingus, region-specific liveries and all of that for ground service vehicles. Super excited about this. Anyways, with all that being said, it is currently 7:09 p.m. in the simulator, and we are slated to depart from the gate at 7:35. I think we're going to be done a little sooner than that, so we might have an early departure. But all the same, let's jump into the cockpit and start preparing this baby up for departure. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Pmdg 737-800 cockpit. So, I have basically nothing running apart from the battery and the ground power unit, as you can see. So we'll go ahead and do some regular flows. We're not going to be using a checklist, just a casual flight to get back into the swing of things. So let's go ahead to the emergency exit lights and arm that. Fueling, we'll go ahead and turn it on after we're done with some of the fasten seatbelts. We're going to go ahead and turn it on after we're done with the fueling of the aircraft. Logo light can come on since it is turning dark. We'll also go ahead and get the IRS systems to nav mode on both sides, and we can start aligning the IRS down here on the flight management computers. So nav data out of date. I should update that, to be honest, but I think that's just it would have Oh, it's only April 21st to May 19th. I should update that for sure. Anyways, I think it should be okay for our flight today, but I'll go ahead and take a look at that later on. I'm still configuring my simulator to get back into YouTube.
Starting.
All right, passengers are now getting boarded. I think we're on gate 108 right. as we speak. So we're going to go ahead and put that. Yeah, we do have GPS coordinates for that. Let's go ahead and pick up GPS left from the next page and put that into the set IRS position. Now, the last time I did one of these full flight videos, I did do like a cinematic edit where all of the FMC inputting of the information was sped up and stuff. I'm going to refrain from doing that in this episode just to see what you lot like more. Do you want me to commentate with this? Do you want me to explain what procedures I'm doing and what I'm putting in? Or if you just want a cinematic experience, let me know down in the comment section below. Your feedback is extremely important for me to actually enhance the quality of videos that I do put up on YouTube. So I'm going to try to make these a little bit more fun as well as compared to just talking about procedures. We're going to be talking about, like, you know, life and all of that stuff. So if you guys have any questions that you want me to address, if you want me to start live streaming, put that stuff down in the comment section. I don't want Flyby Simulations to just be a one-dimensional channel. Make it dynamic, make it interesting, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so Echo India Delta Whiskey is going to be our origin, and we're going to be going all the way to Edinburgh. Edinburgh is absolutely beautiful. I have visited there once in my life, but I hope to go back. I was very young when I went, so I hope to go back at some point in my life and really, you know, live that experience again. It was beautiful. Okay, so that's been entered. Let's go ahead and enter some departure arrival information. Now, from my Simbury flight plan, which you should also see on screen right now as we speak, we're going to be taking off of runway 16 and taking the Rotev 8 Mike departure. So, Rotev Mike departure, let's go ahead and select that real quick. I hope we have that with the current AIRAC. Rotev 8, was it 8 Mike? Yeah, 8 Mike, okay. Probably next page. Oh, we have 7 Mike. Okay, see, this is where the AIRAC data comes into play. So we're taking off runway 16, Rotev 7 Mike. That's what we have available. That's okay. Activate that. From Rotev, we're going to be going to Papa 600. That's the airway we're going to be taking, and we're going to be going all the way to Tunso. And that's the route, pretty much, ladies and gentlemen. It's a very short hop, as you might have seen in the beginning of the video. It's only about an hour total, gate to gate. So really not that complicated. Let's go to arrivals and select the arrival. So we're going to be coming in ILS 24, which I'm pretty excited about. It's coming over the little water body, and it's also a sunset arrival, so I'm pretty excited about that. Tunso 1 Echo arrival is the arrival we're going to be taking. We don't have a transition. That's okay. We can vector ourselves in manually. Let's go ahead and execute that route, and we'll take care of the route discontinuity in the legs page in just a second. So for now, I just want to make sure our passengers are boarding and all of that stuff is happening. Ooh, look at that flight attendant over there. Ready to greet the passengers with a hand on her hip. Exciting stuff. Okay, so that Ryanair is gone, which means my performance has freed up a little bit. Look at those clouds in the distance, ladies and gentlemen. I still haven't managed to sort of eliminate the graininess from the clouds for some reason. That just doesn't seem to go away. I don't know what to do, honestly. Like, my simulator is starting to look worse and worse every time a new sim update happens. So if you guys have any new tips for sim update 9, or maybe they fix it in 10 themselves, Asobo, hopefully they do it, because my sim used to look so much better in sim update 5 and before that. So oh well, let's go ahead and see what else we can do. So the IRS systems are still aligning here. We can, in the meantime, let's go ahead and go to FS Actions, and let's start putting in the fuel. So I think there's one way to actually call the ground service equipment and fuel the aircraft. Of course, we can also use GSX, but for today's flight, just to make things nice and simple and easy, let's just go ahead and insta input the fuel. So if you go into fuel here, you can just put the fuel amount directly in here, and that should automatically put the fuel into the aircraft. So we're taking 6,194 tons of, kilograms of fuel. So that's 6.2 tons approximately. And that automatically inputs that data into the FMC.
Passengers boarding starting.
All right, passengers boarding starting. So, ooh, look at that. Look at that. So this is also the first time I'm flying the Pmdg 737-800. I have flown the 700 around like 2 months back when it came out, but haven't flown the 800, so should be exciting. Of course, we do have all the wealth of experience with this aircraft. If you guys don't know, all the veteran, Flyby Simulation subscribers would know that this channel got popular on the basis of the aircraft dissected series I did on the 737 NG series. So we know this aircraft top to bottom, left to right, up and down, everything. So hope to leverage that experience and bring you guys a smooth flight, albeit we are in Ryanair, so expect a hard landing. Wouldn't be a Ryanair flight without it. But yeah, they got a good variety of passengers as they board as well. Pretty exciting stuff. All right, so back in the flight deck, we have inputted the fuel. We can also go ahead and input the payloads. So the passengers we're taking for today's flight is 166. So let's go ahead and enter that value in there. There we go. Forward cargo. Okay, so it's basically forward and aft cargo, but SimBrief only gives me one cargo value, so we'll go ahead and split it up in the forward and aft. So we have 4.1 tons of cargo, so that comes to around about, let me just do a little bit of quick maths here. That's 2,050. Okay, that should have been done in my head. I'm sorry, I just don't want to take any risks on the video. So 2,050 tons in both sides, and that's the cargo populated, and that should give us an accurate zero fuel weight value of 60.7, and that's what I have here on my SimBrief as well. So that's great. With that done, we can now go into the legs page and take care of that discontinuity we were talking about. So Charlie I24 can just, I'm just going to get rid of that discontinuity and take that back. And we should have a smooth arrival coming into the airport. Of course, we're going to vector ourselves manually, I'm pretty sure, using the heading mode over here on the MCP panel. So before we go ahead and enter some of the performance data, we'll go ahead and get the APU started here as well. So let's go ahead and get the forward pump on. Wait for the low pressure reading to go out. There we go. And we go ahead and get the APU on as well. Perfect. Now that we've also fueled the aircraft, we'll go ahead and take these seatbelt signs on. Perfect. And yeah, we'll wait for everything else. We can go ahead and set a higher altitude here. Actually, you know what? Let's start programming the performance data, and all of that should just come around automatically. Performance initialization, zero fuel weight. We can line select this value. That should give us the gross weight. The planned fuel, as we just said, was 6.2. So we'll go ahead and say that. And reserve fuel, now this is something where I have to do some quick maths in my head. 6.9, so that's around about 7.7 plus 2, so 2.7 plus 1.1, that's 3.8 tons of reserve fuel we're taking. And cost index is going to be 55. That's a little high for Ryanair, if I'm being perfectly honest, but could be wrong. Flight level 250, so not cruising too high today. That's perfectly fine because of the distance of the flight itself. So cruise wind today is going to be 132/002. So, oh crap. So 132 degrees at 2 knots. That's where we're cruising. Our transition altitude here at Dublin, of course, I've checked the charts, is 5,000 feet. And we can go ahead and execute this data, and that then becomes the actual performance initialization. N1 limit, we're going to take off 1 derate, probably put maybe 60 degrees of derated takeoff performance. So that gives us 88.6% on the N1 as we take off. When we go to the takeoff page, we can go ahead and put the runway wind conditions. So I have the local METAR information. The runway wind is going to be 030 degrees at 4 knots.
Passengers boarding starting.
It's wow, GSX has been, it's telling me too much stuff about the passengers. I really don't need to know, GSX. Just do your thing, honestly. Flaps 5, CG line selected. That gives us a trim of 6 on takeoff, and V1 is going to be 144. V rotate is going to be 144 as well, and V2 is going to be 146. And with that stuff, we can go ahead and put that information into our MCP. So let's go ahead and put 146. And let me just pull up the charts here real quick. Sorry, stand by, ladies and gentlemen. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for standing by. Sorry for that cut. I hadn't planned the charts out. So now that we have the charts, I think our runway heading is going to be 159 degrees. And according to our initial climb clearance, we're clear to fly up to our transition altitude here at Dublin. So that's going to be 5,000 feet. We're going to go ahead and enter that in. Turn the flight director on the captain's side, so that becomes the master. Flight director on the other side to make it the slave. We can go ahead and arm the auto throttle, and we can get the LNAV on. I'm just going to wait for the VNAV to come. Oh, did that turn on? Oh. I don't know if we're getting LNAV performance here. For some reason, we're not. I'm confused as to why not. Ooh, what is going on here? I don't know what's going on here. Let me see if I can fix this, ladies and gentlemen. Stand by. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, so as you might have seen, the IRS systems have just aligned again, so I had to restart the entire flight to make sure that everything happened properly. Now, I don't know why, for some reason, the LNAV system on my end was just not working, so this is the moment of truth. We're going to try this again. All the values are entered as usual, so we're going to turn on the flight director on the left side, turn it on the right side. We're going to see the auto throttle arm, LNAV on. Why is LNAV not working? For some reason, LNAV just doesn't seem to be working for me, but you know what? It's fine. Let's see if we can just take off, get into the air, and see if it works. At least the screens seem to be fine for now. So, anyways, 159 degrees is set. Everything is good to go. We have set the local barometric pressure and everything like that. On top, on the overhead panel, we have the seatbelt signs on. We have 25,000 feet set as our cruising altitude for today's flight. We also have the APU bleed and everything running. Yaw dampers running, window heats are on. So we're pretty much ready for pushback and departure. So the current time in the sim is 7:25, so that is 10 minutes prior to departure. That's okay, we can take off a little bit early, doesn't really matter too much to us. We can go ahead and set 2000 as a squawk code, just to preserve consistency in case we were flying on VATSIM. It's a good habit to do that. And we'll go ahead and tell GSX that we are ready for pushback and departure. So hopefully that gives us, we're going with Ryanair as the livery, handling by Ryanair, as you guys can see on the top left there. So the tug has just shown up over there inside those stairs. So one of the operators should be coming up to us and helping us out with the configuration of the pushback procedure. So she's showing us the bypass pin. Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback. All right, sounds good. Get your things done. In the meantime, we'll get our things done. So we'll go ahead and get the electrical generators up and running prior to departure. We will also get the fuel pumps on. I don't think we have any fuel in the center, so we'll get the all the wing pumps up and running. We'll get the anti-collision light up and ready as well, so that people know that we're about to start the engines and they need to steer clear of the aircraft. And what else, ladies and gentlemen? We're pretty much good for pushback. So there's the tug. Actually, that's new. The tug, that kind of tug has never been seen in Microsoft Flight Simulator. So this tug just has a simple little bar that comes and attaches itself to the aircraft quite aggressively, I have to say, but it gets the job done, I guess. And there's like, oh wow, her entire face is inside the cockpit. So there's, of course, there's a little bit of stuff that they have to do to fix all of this stuff and, you know, get rid of all those glitches and little things that break the immersion like that. I would like that to be fixed next time, to be able to see the aircraft as a separate entity from that human that's trying to crank that tug. We're going to be doing a nose right, tail left pushback because runway 16 is right over there. Release parking brakes. There's our instructions. So let's go ahead and release parking brake, and we're pretty much ready for the pushback and start. There you go. Parking brake is released. Commencing push. All engines are clear. And there we go. We're going back. So let's go ahead and get the packs off. There we go. And let's get engine number 2 spooled up. Should hear it in the background. There's the N2 rising, waiting for around about 20% N2 before we inject fuel. There is 20, fuel injected, and I'll let you guys enjoy the sounds. Alrighty, so there's the starter cutout. We can do the same thing for engine number 1 now. So again, monitor the N2, make sure it gets up to 20%, and then we'll inject the fuel over here. So if you guys do want to learn how to fly this aircraft in all of its essence, some people might be new to Flight Simulator when they're watching this video, make sure to check out my aircraft dissected series of videos on this very same aircraft. We cover every single switch, knob, and light, and all those pesky little switches around the cockpit and see what they do. Instead of just figuring out what button to hit at what point of time, we also figure out what they do, what their purpose is, and how they all work holistically to help get an aircraft from point A to point B, specifically the Boeing 737. So if you guys want to check that out, the link is down in the description section of the video, and I will appreciate all the support on that on those videos as well. Oh, we should have hit this, the first officer's clock. I tend to hit that right when we start our pushback. That's okay. There is the pushback tug operator who's monitoring the whole pushback procedure, and the GSX Pro has done a great job in getting us right on this Charlie taxiway over here. So we heard the starter cut out there. We'll go ahead and take engine generators on. There we go. That switches it from the APU generator to the engine generator. We'll also take the packs, and we'll get the probe heats up and running. So our instrumentation in the flight deck is all accurate. We'll go ahead and switch the AC/DC amp monitoring to Gen 1, and we can go ahead and turn off the APU bleed and get the APU turned off as well. No longer need that. I think... Is GSX telling us to set our parking brake? I think it is, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see if that's what we need to do here. So I'm going to go ahead and set the parking brake. There we go. And I think she should set me down now. There we go. Yeah, so she's coming to disconnect the tug, and she should set me down in just a second. So in the meantime, we can go ahead and get the auto brake to RTO, rejected takeoff. We can go ahead and take data on my side, and we can take data on the first officer's side and terrain on the first officer's side. Should draw some sort of terrain map on their ND. And yeah, so we have both engines started perfectly. TCAS we can take to TARA when we get to the runway. Weather radar we can take when we get to the runway as well. I think I need to authorize something here. So yeah, confirm good engine start. Perfect. Cockpit to ground, we have a good engine start. You can disconnect. I don't know why the voices are not working. I think it's maybe something to do with this airport. But yeah, not too afraid about that as of now. Still a little scared as to why the LNAV and VNAV is not working. Those are core components, but I guess that's going to make for an interesting flight. You guys don't have to worry. You guys just have to sit back and relax and enjoy the video and make sure, pray, that we get to Edinburgh safely. Wow, that was aggressive. I don't know if you guys saw that, but that was very aggressive. Our entire aircraft jolted back into position. Tow truck disconnected, bypass pin removed. I think she's going to give us hand signals. If those have been disconnected, we can also go ahead and take our flaps. So flap 5 for departure today. There we go. I don't know if we can do a flight control check on this aircraft. Yeah, no, I don't think the flight control check is available. So we'll go ahead and assume flight control checks have been completed. What we can do is we can set the trim to 6.01. So let's go ahead and manually set the trim wheel to 6.01. There we go. Around about there is good. Okay. And yeah, I think we already got hand signals, didn't we? Yeah, okay, there's the hand signal. Bypass pin has indeed been removed. We can go ahead and take the taxi light on. Perfect. Set the engine start switches to continuous. And yeah, we're ready for departure. Have a good trip. That's what GSX is telling us, and we shall have a good trip so long as our damn LNAV system works. So there you go. Just get out of my taxiway so we don't ingest you into engine number 1. And let's give the engines a little bit of an oomph to get running. Come on. The 737-800 is supposed to be a very slippery, fast aircraft. It's being a little bit of a fat slob right now. That is A-okay. There we go, we're moving. Very slowly, albeit, but we should start picking up pace. So our taxi route today, again, I'll put the chart up on the screen right now, should have us go straight here on Charlie. So we should go straight on Charlie, then take a right on Link 6, cross runway 10 left 2 right on November 4, and then basically enter runway 16 from over there. So that should give us the full length runway 16. We're also running very slowly here, so we'll go ahead and give a little bit more throttle, a little bit more thrust, I should say, to the aircraft. 29.7 N1, 30 N1 actually right now. I have to say I don't quite like those flickering textures on the building over there from MK Studios' Dublin. But even the taxiway lines look a little shabby, I'm not going to lie. But yeah, I guess I can't really do anything about those. We do see some traffic over there in the distance. I'm pretty sure I saw something just recently, but I guess... Oh, there we go. I think that's traffic over there, So AIG traffic is doing a good job. Alright, so we'll go ahead and start slowing ourselves down a little bit. We don't have to go head on 30% N1. Start slowing ourselves down. And I think we simply take a right turn here, if I'm not mistaken. And we go straight here, cross runway 10 left, 28 right, and then runway 16 is right over there. So that's the plan. Roughly. Alright, so we're on November 4. I think we're entering runway 16 as we speak. So we'll go ahead and slow the aircraft down a little bit. Just a little bit. We'll go ahead and take weather radar on, and since we're entering the runway, let's get the landing lights on, as well as all the other lights. We'll get the wing light on, and we'll get the position light to strobe and steady, and we'll also go ahead and take TCAS to TARA. And that's pretty much us ready for takeoff. So we'll start taking this left turn and align ourselves with the center line of the runway. And should be a rather aggressive turn here a little bit, but that's okay. And we should be aligned with the center line of the runway. So let's go ahead and take a rolling takeoff here. Advance the throttle to, actually first let's go ahead and start the clock. And let's advance the throttles to 50%. See if symmetric thrust gets established. There we go. And toga. Airspeed is alive. 80 knots. There we go. There's our virtual first officer. There's V1. Rotating.
Positive rate of climb.
Positive rate. Gear up. Alright, so we're on heading select at the moment. We're going to have to switch that to LNAV, hopefully. But look at that departure, ladies and gentlemen. Just trying to maintain that flight director here. Here we go. Alright, I'm going to try the LNAV switch here. Hopefully it works. LNAV is now working and VNAV is also working. There we go. Looking good. So just following the flight directors now. I don't know if I'm supposed to be following the flight director. I think it's a little inaccurate there. But look out the window, guys. There's Dublin. Beautiful. Alright, we'll go ahead and take flap 1. There we go. We're coming up on 5,000 feet here as well. So we're going to have to take flaps up and get the speed up on the MCP. So let's go ahead and take flaps up. And we'll go ahead and give the controls to autopilot and get the altitude up to our cruising altitude of 25,000 feet here. So we can continue safely climbing out here of Dublin. There we go. We'll take depressurize the hydraulics on the gear. Auto brake can come off. We'll go ahead and take the taxi lights and the runway turnoffs off as well. And there's that left-hand turn. Man, I have to say that was a stunning departure. Anyways, our standard barometric pressure needs to be set to standard since we're passing the transition altitude. We have another left turn coming up. That's going to take us right over the right over that island over there, I guess. But yeah, exciting stuff. As and when we get close to 10,000 feet, you guys know the drill. I'm going to split this entire flight into 2 parts. The first part, of course, covers the departure out of Dublin. I think we're slowing down a little because according to VNAV, we're supposed to maintain a certain altitude as we climb out of here. But yeah, so we're going to split the flight into 2 parts. The first part, of course, which was this one, is going to cover the departure out of Dublin. And the next part is going to cover the arrival and landing into Edinburgh. So if you guys want to check that out, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit that little notification bell icon right next to the subscribe button so you guys get notified every time I upload a video so you guys don't miss the arrival and landing into Edinburgh. Should be pretty exciting stuff. So we're now speeding up to 250 knots and we're 9,000 feet, also climbing. And we'll go ahead and get the range up. FMC preset, we're getting something. Unable 250 knots at TLA. We're going to worry about that next time. We don't have to worry about that in this episode. Look at those clouds, ladies and gentlemen. And look at the scenery down there. That's what you hope for every flight. Alright, approaching 10,000 feet. Landing lights can come off. And the engine start switches can go to off. And we'll also go ahead and get the seatbelt signs to auto so the passengers can move about. Of course, it's a very short flight. We don't want them to move about too much. Get back into their seats for the arrival. And since it's that short a flight, I think you guys should also go ahead and immediately subscribe to the channel because I don't think you guys have too much time to waste. We're going to be coming into Edinburgh shortly. In the meantime, thanks for flying by.